Had several epidurals, worsened towards the end of the year. Found myself in hospital, got transferred to King's as an emergency case and had laminectomy and discectomy, and came out of it with Cauda Equina. Several sort of weeks after that, discharged from hospital, came home, wanted answers to questions really. I just couldn't understand how a condition that I'd had for a year could see me in the position I was.
We ran the helpline on the Cauda Equina charity website, and I think when you phoned me, you were back at work.
I was,
so it must
yes.
have been quite a few months after you'd had the condition.
I think it was March, wasn't it? Yeah.
And then we had a nice long conversation, which was probably very negative, with me saying this is going to be really difficult and stressful. This is going to take, at the very earliest, about 3 years' time.
When I first spoke to you, it wasn't about financial settlements, it was about answers. It was about why has this happened as much as anything. And obviously we had a good rapport, and I felt that you could get me those answers. I'd had MRIs, I'd had X-rays, I'd had epidurals. Surely if this was something that could happen, why was I not being told, don't move, stay in bed? Don't, you know, there was nothing that suggested to me that I had any idea that this could happen. I can't work, I can't do the things that I used to do, and quite simply that has to be addressed. It's a huge added strain that you have, that if people find themselves unable to work through no fault of their own, psychologically it's a bigger barrier as everything else that you're going through. You have to at some point come to terms with the fact your life has changed, and it hasn't changed for the better, and you've just got to get on and make the most of it.
Most clients won't realise at the beginning is that you're going through your own turmoil.
Yes.
So you are dealing with a new condition. So with Cauda
Yes.
Equina syndrome, the doctors say for the first 2 years your symptoms, there will be some improvement, or there might be. So you're having to face that on a sort of daily, monthly, weekly basis.
Yes.
With Cauda Equina syndrome, it is a complex condition, and you don't really know at the beginning where your claim is necessarily going to lie. And GPs may only have come across 1 or 2 cases of Cauda Equina syndrome in their career, so
Yes.
they may not have a number of patients. So if you're not linked up to a spinal unit or don't have close associations with it, I think how you're treated across the country differs.
Then coming out the other end of that and putting my hand up and saying, you know what, there is something wrong. These aren't symptoms that I can deal with on a daily basis and just pretend that they aren't there. I was very lucky finding Maya and finding More Blatch. I knew within the first 2 minutes of speaking with Maya that this was someone I wanted to represent me. More Blatch was actually channeled through the Cauda Equina charity. It gave me reassurance. Whilst yes, it was very important that I had someone that wanted to represent me and someone that could take it all the way to court if that was going to be the case. It was also someone who was going to be honest enough to say to me, no John, there isn't anything here.
No Cauda Equina clients are the same, and there's a sort of a range of symptoms, but I definitely remember talking to you about neuropathic pain, and one client feels this and another client feels that, and there's a definite similarity in some of the issues, and so that sort of possibly reassures you that I know a little bit about the condition, and I've got clients who've got the same issues from different extents but similar issues.
You gave me that reassurance that this was a road that I needed to go down. Speaking to you was one of the best decisions I've ever made, and I absolutely stand by that.